Our students choose social work out of a sense of wanting to improve the world and help others.
On a day-to-day basis, social workers do so many different things, but I think in general, the job of a social worker is to help families.
They're behind the scenes doing all the work. The social workers are really seeing the clients and are holding their hand and are helping them through the harder times.
A social worker tries to listen to and advocate for the perspective of people who aren't listened to.
You do see some of the ugly parts, but you also get to see some really beautiful things and see transformation and see how families can be broken and come back together, and that's a really beautiful thing to get to experience that.
I think people have a narrow view of what social workers do.
Whenever I tell people that I'm a social worker, they're like, oh, so you take children away from people, and that could not be, further from the truth. Of course, some of us work for CPS, but the field is extremely varied.
Human problems do not know social class. If you think of Alzheimer's, autism, addictions, we are there across the lifespan and across social and economic classes.
When you tell somebody in Austin, a nonprofit in Austin that, hey, I'm going to the UT School of Social Work, they instantly know that you're going to be like a very competent individual who's going to have a lot to add to their program.
You can't learn how to talk to somebody and get them to talk to you about their trauma or their pain or their suffering just by reading a book. A lot of it is relational and getting to know the person and being open and knowing what your biases are, knowing who you are. And
in our clinical concentration, we prepare students for direct practice roles, whether it's individuals, families, or groups. And typically it involves the understanding of human behavior deeply, understanding how to communicate with people.
What's unique about the social work perspective is that it really takes into account every aspect of what it means to be human. We study some economics, especially from a macro perspective, to see what's the financial aspect of being a human. We study sociology, we study psychology.
The Cal concentration is where our students learn about fiscal management of nonprofit agencies, governance, human resources, and personnel matters. So how to run an agency and run it well.
Success is a thing that is kind of harder to pin down as a social worker because you are not working with things that are going to change overnight.
Social work is a profession in which we consider not just the individual or just the environment, but we call it the person in the environment.
I understand that the things that I'm doing every day may not be making a profound impact in that moment, but I can look back over time and see that it's made a difference in someone's life, and that makes me feel good to be able to bring that to other people's lives.
the client feels that their life is a little bit better from seeing me and from my help, then that's a success to me. It can be anything from a smile that I don't get from somebody who's very depressed. A simple smile is a success. So there's very small successes that over time translate to something very valuable for me.
Every day that I come into the school, I become prouder of what I'm doing because of the level of energy and devotion of our faculty and of our students. The students bring such energy, and it affirms my decision to become a social worker as I watch the next generation of social workers enter the field so eagerly and so determined to make the world a better place.